occasional moments of forgetfulness, and since March is Brain Awareness Month, we want to talk about how to keep our minds sharp. So here with ways to improve your brain health, our natural health expert, Bryce Wylde, joins us.
Hey, good to see you. And that's what it's like to be a rain cloud covering the sun. How's that?
We didn't plan. Have picked a brighter top to wear today.
Thank you for picking that top.
Why not? We're celebrating spring, right?
That's right.
And this probably helps people, like, stimulate people's brains, wouldn't you say? Bright colors?
So. Yeah. Well, your eyes are an extension of your brain.
Yeah.
Right? Your occipital lobe, that's in charge of what your eyes see and interprets what you see. That's happy. That's happy to me. Serotonin's going all over.
It's very happy, and now look, it even gets even happier.
Your shoes.
Look
Hello.
at these.
Yeah.
Right? Happy feet. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about what we can be doing to keep our minds sharp, because I think a lot of us are actually quite nervous about getting older and what this might do to our brains, and what we should be doing to keep ourselves on point.
I think we should be,
yes,
because of the statistics. Before I go there, I want to try to make this as good news show as possible today.
Let's do that.
Let's do that, right? So being, National Brain Awareness Month, that's just being aware of your brain, what it does, what you can do to make it healthier. And where the statistics are a little bit alarming.
Yes.
We are exercising for our hearts and losing weight to prevent diabetes and be healthier, stronger people.
Right.
But we often forget, and this is what I'm asking North Americans to do. Ask yourself, what have I done for my brain today? What have you done for your brain? At the end of the day, having a healthy brain means a healthy body, and vice versa.
Yes.
Okay? So when I said the stats are alarming,
what are they?
So about 6 million North Americans suffer from cognitive decline, dementia, or Alzheimer's right now. By 2060, and think about this is our children.
Yes.
By 2060, this generation, 15 million, that's more than double, will be diagnosed with cognitive decline, impairment, or Alzheimer's.
Unbelievable.
Our system can't even handle that. Medicare, conventional medicine cannot handle that burden. So we have to start now. And they come from these, strange places. This is not a single thing.
Okay.
So talk a little bit about traumatic brain injuries and even, by the way, emotional post-traumatic stress and things like that. But these come from all these elusive areas in our lives, and it's cumulative. Okay. So first, before we go there, you know me, I'm all about illustration and biology.
Let's talk about how it works. How does the brain work, right?
So let's bring folks down to the level of the neuron, which is the single cells found in your brain. These are cells, and they communicate with each other. So here what you're looking at is once you've gone past the white matter and gray matter, now you're deep within the cell. They're firing off between each other. The good news story is we thought we were born with the approximate 80 or so billion cells.
Yes.
And then after about early childhood, that just simply declined.
Yeah.
Right? And drink a little too much that night, party too hard, or maybe got a knock to the head, and there goes 100,000 and you can't get them back.
Yeah.
Best news. This is where we're going to start. You can grow new nerve cells.
Yes, you can.
How cool is that?
Yes.
You can grow new nerve interactions.
Yes.
So cognitive decline and dementias and Alzheimer's, that's all about nerves no longer communicating with themselves and about nerve cells dying. Now what we know is you can, with the right lifestyle and the right nutrition and even supplementation, grow new nerve cells. That is so cool.
It's like growing new abs, though, guys. You got to work.
Perfect analogy.
Right? So it's not like they look great and they're going to keep you from getting, dementia, but you have to actually do the work to get in there and create those new nerve pathways. So what can we do? What's the work we need to do?
Let's start with that. So record a journal. People have, almost everyone has. Think about it. You've got papers on your car. You've got documents and insurance on your home. All these folders. Who's got a folder, for that matter, on their health, let alone on their brain function?
Right.
So it's all about recording your health.
Okay.
And you start to recognize, I'm forgetting names and places and faces in particular, or, just those annoying little nuances that typically come with middle age. Guess what? That's when Alzheimer's starts.
Middle age?
Middle age. Decades before symptoms appear.
Okay, so are there any signs, early warning signs? So
your doctor can recognize these more than you can.
Okay.
All right, and we'll talk about testing, but at the end of the day, you might be the individual to recognize them before your doctor.
Okay.
That way, getting yourself into an appointment, because this day and age, you see your doctor, it's like, I've got time for one organ or one symptom, so tell me what it is. So if you decide, I think I need to be further investigated for my cognitive function, let's focus on that. And sometimes, again, decades before, in particular if you've got a family history of it, that ramps your chances up tremendously.
But what am I writing in that journal?
any and everything you think is maybe related to your overall health, but in particular, again, your awareness, are you foggy-minded, are you remembering things? It's not just misplacing your keys or showing up at the fridge and going, hey, what am I actually here to take out? It's a little more than that.
5 times a day I do that.
Me too.
Why am I here? And the other day I couldn't remember the word for escalator.
Right. Okay.
You know, it's like the thing that rises, it's stairs that move.
So
you know,
that's
like
happening frequently. You do want to start to consider.
So record all of that.
So record any. I'm not even going to ask people to think about one particular theme. Important thing is you're wanting to record any and all of these things you might consider are related to your overall cognitive health.
Okay. Next,
sleep
what do we
is
have?
so important. We've heard of sleep and hygiene, but you know why I have these little strips out here?
Because if you're snoring, if your partner is snoring and you want to murder them every single night, someone needs to put one of these on their nose.
Snoring is mild.
I speak from experience.
Yes, and I've got an nasal septic defect I rely on them. But besides the point, snoring is mild apnea. Apnea is starving the brain of oxygen. That is one issue that we have to pay attention to. Now, the other, toxins in our environment.
Yes.
You're looking at toxins here. Anything that smells fragrant-like, or you're brushing your teeth with too much fluoride, it's toxin to the brain. I could go into this for hours. Avoid toxins in your environment, and particular cosmetics that are polluting your brain.
Right.
So protecting your head. We've heard of wearing helmets, bike helmets, hockey helmets, ski helmets. Okay, super important, but I'm going to lay it on.
Yeah.
Getting a concussion can happen with a helmet. Getting traumatic or even mild brain injuries can happen with a helmet. Helmets will not protect you. Okay. I highly recommend parents to reconsider contact sports for their children.
Don't even play them.
2.3 times higher incidence when you're having contact, regardless of whether you're wearing a helmet. There's gray matter and white matter in the brain.
Yeah.
That division between gray matter and white matter it's like your brain's like jello. And if you have an impact that literally splices, that injury can actually be lifelong damage.
Yikes.
Right? And only an MRI can discover that.
Yeah.
Now, you want to play these sort of games, Sudoku, brain teasers and all that, and that's helpful, but do it with somebody.
Okay.
Being social. Science has now shown us interacting, not just doing these things on your own, but interacting and being social is the name of the game when you want to create new nerve connections. Learning a new language, wonderful. Frankly, even if you don't remember the language once you've learned it, you've helped create new nerve connections.
Oh, well, that's
so
good
learn
to
that
know.
Spanish regardless of whether you can actually speak it with somebody else, but it's doing it with other people in a group setting.
That's important.
Social
for your
setting,
brain health.
so important.
Okay.
We've heard of meditating.
Oh, yeah, every morning.
I don't know about you, but I can't sort of sit there like a Buddhist monk and om.
Oh, I can sit there forever.
Yeah? Okay.
Oh, I meditate every morning.
That's so wonderful. Good for you, and you should keep doing that. If you don't know whether it's working for you, there are devices out there you can connect, for example, to your earlobe or to your brain that looks at these EEG-type patterns, not like your doctor would look at, but to know that you're in that delta wave, which is actually going to benefit your brain health, they're available online.
Okay.
Do the searches and maybe attach one of those to whether you're not, you're doing these little activities to be more mindful, or you're actually meditating like you are. Either way, it's good to know that you're in the zone. Exercise, we've heard of exercise, whether it's yoga, lifting weights, or cardio, but it's not just about putting more blood flow to your brain.
What is it?
What it is actually upping what's called BDNF. Brain-derived neurotrophic factor.
Wow.
This is the hormone, like growth hormone, that's going to make more cells in your brain. Okay? And lastly, testing yourself.
Okay.
Omega-3 index. I'm actually a part of the Living Brain Project. It's a wonderful project that looks at pre and post omega-3 index, which represents inflammation. You want to keep inflammation down. Most of us are 4%. You want higher than 8%. And a lot of it's about omega-3s in our diet. We'll talk about that a little bit later on in the show. Ask your doctor for ApoE. That's a test genetically to predispose you toward Alzheimer's. So number of tests your doctor conduct for you.
Okay, well, this is actually, it's good to know. It's good to know the hard facts, and it's good to know that you have some control, right? Thank you for that, Bryce.